Welcome back to the Asset Coach Tax Strategist YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to hit the subscription button. If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, drop those in the comment section. Today, I want to just talk about, one of the things we talk about is economic termites. And so if you've read any of my, watched any of my videos or read my book, Economic Termites, I talk about taxes, inflation, time, and laws and regulations, our politicians. There's also another termite, and one of these termites we don't talk about in my book is debt. And the reason why I don't talk about it is because debt's such a huge conversation. But today I like to talk about debt, what this looks like, good debt, bad debt. What's that mean? And so the reality, it's really misunderstood, and a lot of things that have to deal with money is pretty much misunderstood. They don't teach us. They don't teach us about money and the process or monetary policy or fiscal policy based on economic and government decisions in high school. And if you take it in colleges because you need to take it for a business class, but they don't dive into it. They just give you a very, very high level. Not until do you get out of your formal educational process and you start diving into things, watching YouTube or whatever the case may be, do you start getting an inkling of learning about this type of stuff? And so let's talk about debt. There's good debt, there's bad debt. And let's make it a very, very simple delineation of the two. Okay. So yes, there are some that like the Dave Ramseys that are talking to the general public that talk about all debt's bad debt. And to that point, there is some truth to that because all debt that's not managed and structured correctly could be bad. But what about bad debt makes it bad? First things first, it's not managed. It's just you just go get it and you have the debt and you owe somebody and you have to make these payment plans and you haven't looked at anything. What's a good example of this where it's really easy to get this would be credit cards, right? It's simple, it's easy, but the cost is high. Right. But on the business side, there's also like hard money loans. In 2008, banks basically stopped lending to small business owners. And so it created this huge lending gap for small business owners for cash flow, receivables, that sort of stuff. And it opened up this huge area of lending where we call it hard money loans, where you have these investors, but it's costly. It's like credit card debt. It's very, very costly. It's 20 to 30, 40%, depending on the amount, but you can get money within 24 hours. And due to the expediency of it, and the ease of getting it from bank statements to in 24 hours you can have some dollars, it's costly. And the other thing too is that you're paying a cost for it based on not the remaining balance but based on the total balance. So you get $100,000 and it's got a 30% cost, you owe $130,000. Okay. Whether you pay it off now or you pay it off when you need to, and it's a weekly payment, right? So your cash flow. So you really got to be mindful of this, of what this does. And this is the business version of credit card debt, so to speak, if you will. That could be bad debt. Now, there's certain reasons why you would need that, especially if you're expecting a big big payday, so to speak, or a big revenue payment that you need to just kind of bridge this gap, if you will, of a few weeks or a couple months. But there's a cost to that, right? So it's literally almost like your last resort. On the personal side, it is credit card debt. You can get personal loans that it costs less, depending on your credit score, depends on some of the other debts. But let's look at this from a perspective of what is good debt. Good debt is any debt that you're able to utilize to purchase an asset. So Robert Kiyosaki, one of his things, you guys know that I follow Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. The understanding of what he says, and there's a whole bunch of there's a huge population of wealthy business consultants, business investors that talk about this as well, is that good debt is debt that you use to purchase an asset, something that can appreciate and create cash flow, grow in value, not buying a car, right? So like, for example, cash value life insurance is a great asset to have. But if it's not appropriately designed, it's not appropriately used. There's some insurance agents that'll talk about utilizing to finance your own vehicle to go when you go buy a car. Well, why would you do that when you know the value of the car drops 50-60% the moment you drive it off the lot? Why would you self-finance that? Right? Well, but you're paying your self interest, not the bank interest. But it's not an asset. It's something that just literally you lose value. You know that right off the bat. Why would you do that? Now, here's the thing. Now, if you did the same thing, but you bought a investment property, or you bought a business, or you utilize that to where you're in another asset that creates a value back to you, creates a revenue stream back to you, then that debt becomes productive because you're leveraging that financing. Yes, there's a cost to it, but you're utilizing that new asset to that cash flow to hedge or positively arbitrage, meaning pay for the expenses and the debt and come out ahead. That's good debt. Okay, so that's why so many people love real estate. But in the business world, it's very valuable as well. The key here is that within the wealthy. I've talked about this on some of my episodes as well. You can find a ton of guys on YouTube that talk about this. The what the wealthy do: the buy an asset, borrow off that asset, and then the die, buy, borrow, die. Well, we don't want to die, right? But how do we buy, borrow, and thrive? Right, is what I like to say. So we buy an asset, could be a stock portfolio. I have a lot of clients right now, members, that have stock portfolios with a lot of unrealized gains that they've gathered over the last 5 to 10 years, and so they don't want to sell those holdings because it creates a capital gain. And based on their income level, it's going to be a 20%. So what do? Well, we can use that as a leverage to be able to borrow and use that at what I call an asset loan to purchase another asset to pay for that loan. And so now you have both assets. So you didn't create a taxable event. You use that asset to where you have those unrealized capital gains. But what if then all of a sudden you were to invest into a business, and that business is equipment heavy, and you have the ability to depreciate, and your depreciation offsets your income stream, your cash flow stream. So you're going to end up having a loss. So could you use that loss to offset and now start taking some unrealized gains and turn them into realized gains and do that tax harvesting? I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just educational. These are just outspoken thoughts of what the wealthy do. Could you do that? Sure, you could do that, right? Not knowing your personal situation. I don't know if you specifically can do that, but from a high level, sure, why couldn't I? So that's a particular strategy of how to utilize good debt, where it creates a value for you. It's not a liability. It's a short-term liability because you are borrowing, and it is a borrowed dollars, but it's creating an asset, it's creating cash flow. That's where that leverage is very good. That debt can be very good. So I just wanted to share that with you really quickly as just a thought, a side note, a thought that really, when you're kind of going through this process, trying to figure out, do I borrow money? Do I use my cash? This is a good area to understand. If I do borrow money, am I making it good debt? Or am I just making a bad debt and kind of exacerbating and making the situation a little bit worse? Something to ponder, something to think about when you're making these thoughts and these decisions. So thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Feel free to give us a thumbs up on the content, or add any comments or questions down in the comment section. Love to see what our listeners, what our subscribers are thinking about. Thank you so much. Make it a great day.